The rescue fleet dropped out of hyperspace, expecting carnage. Commander Velos stood on the bridge of the battlecruiser Redemption, his 4 eyes fixed on the tactical display before him. The human cargo hauler Bright Morning had sent a distress call 16 hours ago, reporting an attack by Krell raiders in the Deneb sector. The message had cut off mid-transmission, which usually meant one thing: total annihilation. "Scan for survivors," Velos ordered, his translator converting his clicking speech into standard galactic, "and locate the Krell vessels." The sensor officer, a young Trellan named Piv, worked her console with practiced efficiency. Her antennae twitched with confusion. "Sir, I'm reading one human vessel, designation Bright Morning. Hull intact. Life signs positive." She paused. No Krell signatures detected. Velos felt his chest plates tighten. "They fled?" "Unknown, sir. But I'm detecting debris fields. Multiple contacts. The composition matches Krell warship alloys." The commander moved closer to the display. 6 debris clouds surrounded the human freighter, each one roughly the size of a Krell raider. His blood ran cold. "Send a boarding team. I want to know what happened here." Lieutenant Cross led the boarding party across the void. The human ship floated peacefully in space, its running lights blinking in the standard pattern that indicated minimal damage and functioning systems. As they approached the airlock, Cross noticed something that made his scales itch: carbon scoring along the hull, the telltale marks of energy weapon impacts. Dozens of them. The airlock cycled open without incident. The Bright Morning's interior lights were on, the gravity functioning normally. Everything seemed routine, except for the smell, sharp and acrid, that filled the corridors. "Spread out," Cross ordered. "Stay alert." They found the crew in the cargo bay. There were 8 humans total, sitting on storage containers and drinking something hot from metal cups. They looked up as the boarding team entered, weapons ready. One of them, a graying man with scarred hands, raised his cup in greeting. "About time you showed up," the human said. His name tag read Captain Ross. "Coffee?" Cross lowered his rifle slowly. "Captain, we received your distress call. We expected to find you under attack or worse." Ross took a sip from his cup. "The attack ended about 14 hours ago. Where are the Krell?" "Dead." The word hung in the air like smoke. Cross exchanged glances with his team members. Behind Ross, the other humans showed various states of exhaustion, but no visible injuries. "All of them?" Cross asked. A younger human woman stood up. Her jumpsuit was torn at the shoulder, revealing a bandaged wound. 6 Raider-class warships. We counted 247 boarding hostiles. None survived. Cross felt his secondary heart skip a beat. "How many crew does this vessel carry?" 8, Ross said. "You're looking at all of us." The Trellan officer accessed his tactical database. Krell raiders were brutal but effective fighters, each one worth 3 standard soldiers in combat. The math didn't work. It couldn't work. "Explain," Cross demanded. Ross set down his cup and stood. "You want the full report? Fine. They hit us near the 4th moon. Disabled our jump drive with the first salvo. We knew we couldn't outrun them, so we prepared to be boarded." He walked across the cargo bay, his boots echoing on the deck plates. Standard Krell tactics. They clamped on at 6 points and cut through the hull. Boarding teams of about 40 each, heavily armed, expecting cargo haulers and easy prey. One of the other humans, a massive man with metal augmentations on his arms, laughed without humor. They really didn't do their homework. Ross continued. "What the Krell don't understand about human cargo haulers is that most of us are veterans. Earth doesn't waste trained soldiers. When you finish your service, they offer you commercial licenses and help you start a new life. Keeps experienced people in space and reduces the pension burden. Cross began to understand. Your entire crew is former military? Former special operations, the woman corrected. Captain Ross served 22 years in the Terran Rangers. I did 15 with the orbital drop course. Big Mike over there was a combat engineer. The others have similar backgrounds. Ross picked up a data pad and tossed it to Cross. We maintain our equipment and training. It's practical out here. Pirates, raiders, mechanical failures. You need people who can handle problems. The Trellin officer scrolled through the pad. Personnel files, weapons certifications, tactical qualifications. Each crew member had multiple commendations and combat deployments. These weren't simple cargo haulers. They were wolves in freighters' clothing. Walk me through the engagement, Cross said. The captain nodded. When they breached, we were ready. Humans are smaller than Krell, so we used the tight corridors to our advantage. They came in confident, weapons up, but formation sloppy. We had prepared defensive positions at each breach point. Big Mike stood and gestured to a nearby bulkhead. Shaped charges here and here. When the first wave came through, we collapsed the corridor behind them. Trapped them in a kill box with nowhere to retreat. We used their aggression against them, Ross continued. Krell fight with emotion, with rage. They don't adapt well to changing circumstances. When their forward teams stopped responding, the next wave came in harder but less coordinated. The wounded woman walked to a wall panel and opened it, revealing an arsenal of weapons. We also maintain better equipment than most people realize. Military-grade arms, body armor, automated defenses. All legal for merchant vessels in uncontrolled space, but most traders don't bother with the expense. Cross examined the weapons. They were well-maintained, top-tier models that would be at home in any military armory. The Krell eventually realized they'd underestimated us, Ross said. They tried to withdraw and destroy the ship from their vessels. That's when we counterattacked. You boarded their ships? Cross couldn't hide his shock. Big Mike grinned. 6 of us went out in hard suits, while 2 stayed to defend the bright morning. We used their own boarding tunnels. They never expected prey to hunt back. The captain pulled up security footage on a nearby screen. Cross watched as armored humans moved through Krell corridors with lethal efficiency. They moved like water, covering each other, using grenades and precision fire to clear rooms. The Krell, caught completely off guard, fought back with desperation, but no organization. We targeted their bridge crews and engineering, Ross explained. Without leadership, the remaining Krell fell apart. Some surrendered. We couldn't accept. No facilities to hold prisoners, and no way to guarantee they wouldn't try something during transport. The security footage showed the final moments. Explosions bloomed across Krell hulls as the humans sabotaged reactor cores before retreating to their own ship. 6 warships died in silent fury, their crews lost to the void. Cross felt a chill run through his body. The galactic community believes humans are peaceful. Your diplomats, your traders, your cultural representatives all project an image of gentle cooperation. Ross met his eyes. We are peaceful. We prefer trade to war, conversation to conflict. But peaceful doesn't mean helpless. Every human knows violence. We spent 10,000 years fighting each other before we reached the stars. We know what we're capable of. The woman added, our government tries to downplay it. Better for business if people think we're soft. But anyone who's actually fought alongside human soldiers knows the truth. We're adaptive, creative, and stubborn beyond reason. Cross thought about the implications. How many other human merchant ships carried veteran crews? How many human freighters could transform into warships at a moment's notice? The galactic balance of power might be built on incomplete information. What do you want us to do with this report? He asked finally. Ross shrugged. Tell the truth. We defended ourselves against unlawful attackers. The Krell chose violence and paid the price. Maybe word will spread, and pirates will think twice before targeting human vessels. Or it might paint targets on your backs, Cross warned. They were already there, Big Mike said. At least now the targets come with warning labels. Commander Velos read the report 3 times before accepting it as accurate. The evidence was clear. Debris analysis confirmed 6 Krell warships destroyed, boarding equipment traced to the bright morning, and no indication of any other vessels in the area. 8 humans had defeated a raiding force that should have overwhelmed them easily. He filed the incident with galactic authorities, marking it as justifiable self-defense. But he also sent a classified memo to Fleet Command, suggesting they update threat assessments for human civilian vessels. The Bright Morning departed the Deneb sector 2 days later, its jump drive repaired and its cargo intact. The crew returned to their regular duties, hauling freight across the neutral zones like nothing had happened. But something had changed. Word spread through the galactic network, passed between crews and bars and trading posts. The story grew with each telling, becoming legend. The Krell learned to avoid ships with Terran registry. Other pirate factions took note, and the humans continued their peaceful trade routes, their diplomatic smiles never wavering. They just made sure their weapons were always cleaned and ready, and that every crew member maintained their combat certifications. Because humanity had learned, across millennia of hard lessons, that the best way to ensure peace was to be prepared for war.